Scorpio, how many times have you given your all, sacrificed your time, your energy, your own well-being for something or someone, and no one even noticed? How many battles have you faced completely alone, in the darkness of your inner world, carrying burdens no one around you knew existed? How many times have you been the strongest person in the room, holding everyone together, solving every problem, being the unshakable rock for everyone, while inside you were shattering into 1,000 pieces that you picked up alone every morning? Have you ever felt that specific loneliness of being too deep for a world that values the superficial, of having an intensity that frightens people, an ability to see beyond the masks that makes others feel uncomfortable around you, of being loyal to the end, to the one you love, but discovering that most people don't know what to do with that kind of devotion because they've never seen love so true, so raw, so absolute? October 2025 isn't just another month on the calendar. It's the month where everything you planted in the darkness, all the seeds you watered with your own tears while no one was looking, all the silent transformations you've gone through alone, all of it will finally blossom in a way the whole world will see. And this time, it won't be you proving your worth. It will be the entire universe conspiring to show others what you've always known you were: extraordinary. For the past few months, you've been carrying an invisible weight. You've done things no one asked you to do, solved problems no one knew existed, saved situations that would have crumbled without you, and no one applauded. No one acknowledged. No one stopped to say, "I see you. I see everything you do. I know how essential you are." And that's not because you need external validation to know your worth. It's because you're human. And every human, especially one as intense and dedicated as you, deserves to be seen. October will be the month where you'll finally be seen, not subtly or discreetly, in a way that's impossible to ignore. People who underestimated you will have to eat their own words. Situations where you've been left out will reorganize themselves, putting you at the center. Opportunities that seem to go to everyone but you will finally knock on your door with a force that will leave you breathless. But before you get there, you need to understand why October will be so special. And to do that, I need you to look back and acknowledge everything you've overcome. Scorpio doesn't live superficial experiences. When you suffer at the deepest level possible. When you love with every fiber of your being. When you commit to something, there's no middle ground. You either give it your all or you don't play the game. This intensity cost you dearly. It cost you relationships with people who couldn't handle such depth. It cost you opportunities because you refused to be fake, to pretend to care about superficial things. It cost you sleepless nights processing emotions most people simply ignore. It cost you pieces of yourself that you had to rebuild alone in the darkness. But here's the truth few understand about Scorpio. Every time you die internally, you're reborn stronger. Every painful transformation you've gone through alone has given you layers of wisdom that ordinary people can't even imagine. Every silent battle has taught you something about resilience, about true strength, about how to keep going when there's no logical reason to keep going. October 2025 is the month when all this accumulated strength, wisdom, and transformation will finally manifest in the material world in tangible and undeniable ways. I'm not talking about vague possibilities or abstract chances. I'm talking about concrete results that will change your reality in ways you only dared to dream of when you were most desperate. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, October will bring professional or public recognition that has long been denied. Something you've built in the shadows will finally gain the light it deserves. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the month will bring justice in situations where you've been treated unfairly. People who owe you debts will finally pay their debts, not necessarily financial, but energetic and emotional. For those born between November 13th and 21st, October marks the beginning of a cycle where your emotional intensity ceases to be a burden and becomes your greatest strength. attracting connections that can finally connect with you deeply. But regardless of when you were born, all Scorpios will experience something in common. The feeling that finally, the universe is working in your favor, that you're no longer swimming against the current, that your unique abilities are no longer seen as too much, but as exactly what was needed. Scorpio, I know you're tired of being strong, tired of carrying everything alone, tired of being the person everyone looks to when things are bad, but no one thinks to celebrate when things are good. You've thought about giving up, not on life, but on caring so much, on giving yourself so completely, on being so intense in a world that rewards mediocrity. And maybe no one has told you this yet, but you need to hear it. I see you. I see every silent sacrifice. Every night you stayed awake carrying problems that weren't yours. Every time you put your own pain aside to hold someone else in theirs. Every transformation you went through without an audience, without applause, without recognition. October will be the month where the universe also sees, and it will reward. Leave a comment now saying, I carry more than people realize, but I'm ready to reap. It's not just a comment. It's a declaration to the universe that you recognize your own worth, that you know how much you deserve all the good things that are coming your way. And when you write this, you're creating a collective energy with other Scorpios who are also ready to finally receive what they deserve. Your courage in recognizing your strength can inspire someone who still doubts their own. Right now, you deserve this and much more. The reason October 2025 will be so special for Scorpio isn't luck or chance. It's a direct consequence of everything you've been doing behind the scenes in your life. While others were concerned with appearances, you were building solid foundations. While others were looking for shortcuts, you chose the difficult but true path. While others gave up at the first obstacle, you kept going even when it seemed impossible. There's a spiritual law most people don't understand. Nothing is wasted. Every genuine effort, every sincere sacrifice, every moment you chose to do the right thing, even at great cost, all of it has been recorded, accounted for, accumulated. And there comes a time when the account is closed and you receive it back with interest. October is that time for you. It will be like an avalanche of blessings, opportunities, and recognition arriving all at once, as if the universe had purposely held everything back to deliver it in a single moment of maximum impact. Because Scorpio doesn't live lukewarm experiences. When something happens in your life, it happens intensely, transformatively, completely. You'll receive news you've been waiting for months, maybe years. Doors that seemed closed forever will suddenly open. People who previously ignored you will seek you out, wanting your attention, your time, your energy. Opportunities you thought you'd lost will resurface, this time with even better conditions than before. But most importantly, you'll receive something that money can't buy and status can't guarantee. You'll receive inner peace, that feeling of finally being in the right place, doing the right things, surrounded by the right people. That deep certainty that everything you've been through had a purpose, and that purpose is finally revealing itself. During October, you'll have moments where you look around your life and don't recognize reality. It will seem too good to be true. You'll fear it's temporary, that at any moment everything could fall apart as it has before. But this time is different. This time, you're not building on illusions or false promises. You're reaping the rewards of real work, of genuine transformation, of right choices made when no one was looking. People around you will comment that you've changed, that you're different. They'll say you're lucky or that things finally worked out for you. But you'll know the truth. It's not luck. It's deserved. It's the natural consequence of years of building, planting, and transforming in the darkness while others slept. October will also bring new people into your life, but not just anyone. People who can finally connect with you deeply, who don't shy away from your intensity but celebrate it, who aren't scared by your layers but are fascinated by exploring each one. Connections that finally make sense, where you don't have to diminish yourself, explain yourself, or apologize for being who you are. And here's something that will surprise you. These people will seek you out. You won't need to hunt for true connections or force deep relationships. They will appear naturally, drawn to the energy you'll be emanating during October. The energy of someone who is finally in their full power. Unapologetic, unapologetic, unapologetic. Professionally, October will bring the kind of recognition that validates years of silent effort. That project no one believed in will finally show impressive results. That skill you developed alone, without a teacher, without guidance, just through sheer determination, will suddenly become extremely valued. That work you've been doing in the shadows will gain the spotlight, and with it, all the opportunities and rewards you always deserved. But what will mark you most in October won't be external achievements. It will be internal transformation. You'll feel something you perhaps haven't felt in a long time, genuine hope. Not the fragile hope that dies at the first obstacle, but a robust hope based on concrete evidence that your life is finally aligning with its true potential. You'll also feel profound gratitude for everything you've been through. You'll look back and understand that every pain had a purpose. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every disappointment prepared you to recognize what's genuine when it finally appears. All those nights crying alone, all those moments of silent despair, all those days where you wanted to give up but didn't, it will all make perfect sense. Scorpio, you've always known you were different. You've always felt you had a greater mission, a deeper purpose than simply existing and consuming. You've always known that your intensity wasn't a flaw, but an essential characteristic of who you were meant to be. October will be the month where you finally live in accordance with this truth, without apologies, without hiding, without diminishing yourself. Those who abandoned you when you were transforming will realize they lost someone rare, valuable, and irreplaceable. Those who underestimated you will have to admit they were badly mistaken in their assessment. But here's the beauty. You won't feel the need to rub it in anyone's face. You won't need to prove anything. Your own reality will speak for itself. Your energy will communicate without words. Your presence will radiate power in a way that requires no explanation or justification. During the month of October, you'll also receive answers to questions that have long plagued you. Confusing situations will finally make sense. People who disappeared without explanation will reappear, bringing clarity. Cycles that seemed endless will finally come to a definitive and satisfying close. There will be times when you'll want to call people from your past and tell them everything that's happening, but you'll realize you don't need to, that your evolution doesn't depend on old witnesses to validate it. That you've evolved so much that some previous chapters of your life simply no longer connect with who you've become. The most powerful moment of October will be when you realize you're no longer afraid. Afraid of loss, afraid of being abandoned, afraid that everything will fall apart again. Because you'll have gone through so many personal hells and been reborn from each one that you'll finally understand. You are indestructible. Not in the sense that you can't be hurt, but in the sense that even when you're destroyed, you have the innate ability to rebuild yourself even stronger. This understanding will give you a freedom you've never experienced before. Freedom to take risks, to surrender, to live fully without holding back parts of yourself for protection. Because you'll know that no matter what happens, you always have you. And you've always been enough. October will also bring healing to old wounds you didn't even know you still carried. Painful memories will lose their power over you. Traumas you thought defined you forever will reveal themselves as just chapters in a much larger story. You'll look at your reflection in the mirror and finally genuinely like what you see. Not because your appearance has changed, but because your energy has changed. And when October ends, you won't be the same person you were when you started the month. You'll carry a confidence that comes from being tested to the limit and emerging victorious. A wisdom that comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. a compassion that comes from knowing pain intimately and choosing not to inflict it on others. Scorpio, you were always destined for greatness, not the superficial greatness of fame or fortune, but the profound greatness of living authentically, of transforming pain into power, of being a beacon for others, also navigating dark waters. October 2025 is just the beginning of this greatness manifesting in ways the world can finally see. Everything you went through wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You were forged in the most intense flames because the universe destined you for a mission that requires someone truly strong. And you've proven, time and time again, that you are exactly that someone. If this video touched something deep within you, if you felt like someone finally understands your silent struggles and recognizes your worth, share it in the comments. You don't have to tell your whole story. Just acknowledge that you saw these words and they resonated with truths you carry. Subscribe to the channel because October is just the beginning of a new era in your life. You'll need guidance on how to handle the abundance that's coming, how to maintain your power without losing it, how to continue being yourself at levels of success you've never experienced before. Turn on notifications to receive regular reminders of your own worth, especially on days when doubts try to revisit you. October 2025 will forever mark your life. Prepare to reap all you sowed in the darkness. Prepare to be seen, recognized, celebrated. Prepare to finally live the extraordinary life that was always rightfully yours. The universe is about to repay you everything it owes you with interest, and you deserve every second of it.